I've spent a lot of my life feeling like the outside kid. And y'all, that can be taken a lot of ways, but hear me out. Not fully existing in one space, not fully claimed in another, just kind of in between. And I'm trying to make sense of things that my little mind can't quite wrap around yet. And for a long time, I thought that I was missing something. But now I'm starting to realize that being on the outside didn't take anything from me. It brought a lot to the forefront in my adult life. It made me aware. It made me more conscious of people. It made me more forgiving. But at the same time, it gave me boundaries for my heart and my mind. Yeah, I wasn't missing nothing. I was just seeing everything differently.
Welcome to Chirp Session, hosted by AC Thompson.
Welcome to the Chirp Session Weekly Diary, where we talk everything, even what some won't say. I am your host, AC Thompson, and today we are opening the door from the outside looking in. Let's set the tone a little bit. I'm not here to point fingers. This isn't about blaming my parents. This isn't about rewriting anyone's story. It's my story. This is mine. This is my experience, my understanding, my awakening, and how growing up in a space that shaped how I see people, relationships, and the world around me has really impacted me in my walk today. Being the outside kid is really a feeling, right? It's not something you get to sit down and process as a kid. You just live it. You move through it. You don't ask questions at all. And boom, you grow up. You start putting pieces together in your adult mind because now you're more mature. You can process and analyze things a lot better. And then you realize you were watching dynamics more than you were fully living in them. Kids are very observant. You learn real early things aren't always what they look like on the surface. And a lot of times you're taught, hush, child. Mind your manners. Stay in a child's place. Don't ask questions to adults. Get out of here while we talking. But what people don't always realize is those quiet moments, they stick with you. They follow you into adulthood, and they can haunt you if you let them. That's where it really starts to make sense for me. For me, I existed between worlds. I learned how to read a room early. And a lot of times I didn't feel like I fully fit the narrative, okay? You can look like them. You can look like them and not feel like them. And even when people tried, it didn't always take that feeling away. When you grow up on the outside looking in, you learn to read the room before you even enter it. When you're not fully in something, whether that be family, whether that be friendships, whatever it is, you pay attention a lot differently than the people who are in it, right? Understanding your environment, that feeling of safety. When you understand your environment, it feels like safety. You're wrapped around in a safety cloth. You start to notice everything, tone, energy shifts, the things nobody says out loud. And when you're the one kind of just coming into the fold, you feel that difference. You hear the whispers. You catch the little comments. You notice the comparisons, even when they're trying to disguise them. And at 8 or 9 years old, you don't always have the words for it. You're not taught to have the words for it. You just feel it. But if your memory sticks with you like mine did, when you grow up, you start connecting the dots. Clearly, you start putting pieces together, and everything that felt confusing back then starts to make sense in your adult world. I didn't push the memories out, y'all. They sat with me. Growing up, I didn't always have explanations, but I had my observations. I could feel when something wasn't being said. I could see when things didn't quite line up, even if nobody talked about it. Now, let me say this. Let me make it clear. I grew up in a strong household. My mother, my sisters, and my granny. To me, that was complete. It felt complete. I felt the loved. I've always felt love. You don't know something is missing until it's introduced to you. I met my dad when I was 8 years old. Well, at least that's my first memory of meeting him. And from that moment, my mind just started running. Like, why is he not here all the time? Or why am I just now meeting him? Or why does everybody else's situation look different from mine? It seems like they have it all figured out, right? I had a lot of questions. And my mom, she never completely shut me down, right? But I also knew there were some answers that were hard. I could just tell. You have this discernment with your parents as a kid too. And some things I know I wasn't really fully ready to understand yet. When I lost my mom at 14, and a lot of the questions I have, like they're still here. They're going to stay questions because she's no longer here. And I grew into an adult that didn't really ask everything. Sometimes I felt like maybe it's better not to know, especially when there are already big gaps in my story. So when you don't get full stories, you learn how to read between the lines, and you learn to assume more than anything. And I'm not going to sit here and act like that doesn't come with feelings. I feel it every single day. Those feelings are there. Those feelings are present. I've lost both my parents. I've lost both sets of my grandparents. And sometimes I still sit with this feeling like, where exactly do I fit? And I'm not taken away from my siblings or my family that's still here with me today, because we all have different experiences. This is my story. For me, it's a quiet question. What part of this is fully mine, right? Now, as an adult, I pick up on things real early in relationships. I've had the same friends for years, and if I make new friends, it's rare. It's rare. I met some beautiful people though. But I pick up on those things. I pick up on energy shifts, inconsistency, things that don't get said but you can feel. And sometimes I have to check myself, like, am I overthinking? Or am I just seeing what I've always been trained to see? Because when you're used to processing things a certain way, it kind of gets embedded in you, right? And sometimes it's not overthinking, it's just pattern recognition, right? What I've learned is this: being the outside kid did not break me. It actually sharpened me. It gave me awareness. It gave me emotional intelligence. It taught me how to see truth, even when it's quiet. It also taught me it's okay to ask questions. I had to teach myself that. I had to relearn that. Even when they are uncomfortable, even when people don't like them, even when you feel a little defeated in the process, you learn how to ask those questions. You stand up for yourself, you stand up for your feelings, you stand up for your heart. And at the same time, I understand life isn't always simple. People make choices, people carry things, people have stories that we don't fully see, and two things can be true at once. I can honor where I come from and still be honest about how it shaped me, how it shaped my mind. Because the way that I think and I process things are a lot different than a lot of people. I can respect my story without staying silent about it. So if you've ever felt like the outsider, the outside friend, the outside kid, the outside sibling, like you didn't fully belong in the story you came from, that does not make you less. It doesn't make you less. If anything, it might mean you see a little bit more than most. And maybe you weren't just meant to fit in that story. You were meant to just fully understand it. You were meant to fully understand people and how they act and how they are. And that some things are not said out loud. Sometimes it's better to observe. I think we have to start learning to embrace the story that we are now writing for ourselves. Let's do that, chirpers. Let's embrace our story and what we are writing for ourselves. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to Chirp Session via your favorite podcast platform. Follow Chirp Session on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and X for behind-the-scenes content and to keep this conversation going and going. Next week, y'all, we roll the vice. Not the dice, but the vice, V-I-C-E. What is your vice? And how has it been showing up in your life? We're going to talk about it. We're going to write about it. Let's discuss it, all right? I love y'all. Later, chirpers.
It's extremely hard in those moments.
Host AC Thompson.